And what have you experienced out here?
The main thing we've experienced is balls of light. One of these orbs actually landed. It became a cloud, a misty cloud, a black cloud, swirled around, coalesced into the shape of a wolf, which is now standing directly in front of us.
Have you ever heard about a dark secret that lurks in a remote corner of Utah? You all may have heard about the Skinwalkers from movies, but what exactly is this? Why do people fear to go out of their homes once the sun sets? Skinwalker Ranch, once known as Sherman Ranch, spans around 512 acres southeast of Ballard and is infamous for its eerie reputation. The Navajo or Diné people of North America have strong beliefs in magic and shape-shifting. While some people might think of it just as a werewolf, the Skinwalker is actually a much deeper part of their culture and has become a popular figure in pop culture. This mysterious place is said to be a hotspot for paranormal activity and UFO sightings. Named after the Navajo legend of vengeful shamans called Skinwalkers, the ranch has captivated imagination since UFO reports began emerging from the Utah Basin in the 1970s. What strange phenomenon could be hiding there? In 1996, the first claims about the ranch were made in the Deseret News from Salt Lake City, Utah. Later, more stories were published in the alternative weekly, Las Vegas Mercury, by investigative journalist George Knapp. These stories told of a family who said that they went through strange and scary events after they bought and moved into the property. The ranch is in West Utah County, next to the Utah and Quarry Indian Reservation. It was nicknamed the UFO Ranch because of a 50-year history of strange events said to have happened there. Knapp and Colin Keller reported seeing or looking into nearly 100 incidents. These included cattle disappearing or being found mutilated, and sightings of unidentified flying objects or orbs. Large animals with piercing red eyes were said to be unharmed when shot at. Invisible objects were also reported to emit destructive magnetic fields. One of the people involved was retired US Army Colonel Johnny B. Alexander. He described the investigation by NIDSI as an effort to get solid data using a standard scientific method. However, the investigators admitted that it was hard to get evidence that could be published in scientific journals. For many years, stories about cattle mutilations have been common in the area around the ranch. In 1996, Robert Bigelow, the founder of the National Institute for Discovery Science, bought the ranch for $200,000. In 2005, Colin Keller and George Knapp published a book called Hunt for the Skinwalker. In the book, they described how Robert Bigelow bought the ranch to study reports of strange things. These included UFO sightings, Bigfoot-like creatures, crop circles, glowing orbs, and poltergeist activity shared by the former owners. James Lakatsky, a Defense Intelligence Agency official, read Keller and Knapp's book. He contacted Robert Bigelow and got permission to visit the ranch. Lakatsky had a supernatural experience there. Bigelow told his friend Harry Reid about it. Reid and Ted Stevens, who also had a UFO experience, agreed that the ranch needed attention. They added a line to the Department of Defense budget, setting aside $22 million to study unidentified aerial phenomenon. Skeptical author Robert Schaefer thinks the strange events at Skinwalker Ranch are almost certainly illusory. He points out that NIDSI found no proof after years of monitoring. Additionally, the previous owners who lived there for 60 years said that they never experienced any supernatural events. Schaefer believes the simplest explanation is that the Sherman family made up the story before selling the ranch to the gullible Bigelow. He pointed out that after many decades of research, there was no solid evidence from the ranch. Greenwood described Skinwalker Ranch as always in the business of selling belief and hope. In 2016, Bigelow sold Skinwalker Ranch to Adamantium Real Estate LLC for about $500,000. After the ranch was purchased, roads leading to it were blocked off, cameras and barbed wire were used to guard the perimeter, and signs were put up to keep people away from the ranch. In 2020, Utah real estate mogul Brandon Fugel revealed that he was the mysterious owner of Skinwalker Ranch and announced that the History Channel would be filming a reality TV show there called The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. The show follows Fugel as he tries to use scientific methods to explore the strange happenings on the ranch. He's joined by a team of experts from various scientific fields. Together, they try to uncover the truth behind the ranch's mysteries. Since the 1950s, there have been hundreds of reports of UFOs and strange events in the Utah Basin. And not just at Skinwalker Ranch, neighbors have reported seeing bright lights in the sky, sometimes shaped like doorways or portals. Others have seen large, mysterious flying objects. Cattle mutilations are also a common occurrence. Some neighbours have found cows that seem to have been struck by lightning, even though there's no evidence of a lightning strike nearby. One group of people even shared a story about trying to spot UFOs one night, only to return to their car and find that it had been moved without leaving any tyre tracks in the desert sand. There are lots of theories about what's going on at Skinwalker Ranch, and some of them are pretty wild, but something is definitely happening, so why not take a guess? Some people think that the stories are made up just to make money, but let's be honest, this theory is boring and doesn't really explain much, so it's not worth considering. Some think that there are extraterrestrial visitors. This is one of the most popular theories. It could explain the bright lights, flying objects, strange voices, electrical disturbances, and cattle mutilations that seem to be done with scientific precision. But if aliens are behind it all, why are they being so secretive? Maybe they're filming their own documentary series. Some people don't think that UFOs come from another planet. Instead, they believe these mysterious objects come from a parallel dimension or universe. It might sound wild, but it could explain why the lights in the sky sometimes look like portals. If there's some kind of interdimensional gateway, it makes sense that strange things might happen around it, right? Neuroscientist Michael Persinger came up with a theory that geophysical forces like tectonic shifts, seismic activity, and geomagnetic fields could mess with the part of the brain that creates hallucinations. According to this idea, all the strange things that people see at Skinwalker Ranch, UFOs, shapeshifters, portals, are just their brains reacting to increased seismic activity in the area. It might sound far-fetched, but it's backed by some scientific words, so it's worth considering. Can you visit Skinwalker Ranch? Skinwalker Ranch is private property, so you can't visit unless the owner invites you, and sneaking in isn't a great idea either. The head of security is a tough guy. Will you see any flying saucers or strange lights? We can't guarantee it, but we can promise that a trip to the Uinta Basin will offer stunning scenery, friendly locals, and a sky full of stars. After all, our theory is that whoever or whatever is visiting Skinwalker Ranch does so because Utah isn't just a top tourist spot on Earth, it's the best in any world. Were the Shermans lying about what they saw, or were they caught up in a collective delusion? Without solid evidence, their stories are hard to believe, but they aren't the only ones to report strange experiences. The Uinta Basin in eastern Utah has seen so many paranormal sightings over the years that some UFO enthusiasts call it UFO Alley. As the saying goes, you can't throw a rock in southern Utah without hitting someone who's been abducted. What are your thoughts on this supernatural spot? Share your thoughts with us here. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, see you around.